Hello, fellow calligraphers, calligraphy enthusiasts, or maybe future calligraphers, wherever your life would take you. Today I would like to talk about something that is quite interesting and that happens to all of us in a way. And that's how our life choices change us. And for me, of course, the life choice would be choosing to do calligraphy not as a passion project, even though that's how it started, but something that fills me to the bone and something that I'm sure I'll be doing till I die. Till the very last breath I will know I'll be holding a brush, and this is what I've been doing my whole life and I love it. And the life path that it takes is usually quite varied, and I would like to talk about that a little bit, because the beginning is usually naive. You're learning the basic strokes, you're learning the basic shapes on how to see the world, and it changes your perspective in general. Because if you're taught this is how you would draw a house in perspective, let's say, from the pure art illustration point of view, then this is how perspective works. And suddenly, when you walk through a city, then you're looking at different buildings and you see, that's perspective. That's how it looks when you see a street that goes somewhere. That's what it is. If you come into calligraphy, of course it is slightly different, but not completely. Let's start with Latin script, because there are quite many calligraphers, wonderful calligraphers in Czech Republic or around the world who work with Latin script and do calligraphy made with that. And with Latin, suddenly you see a script on a building and you start thinking, all right, what kind of calligraphy is this? What kind of type of a script is this? Is this shape the way it's supposed to be? Was it done by a brush? Was it a marker? Was it a parallel pen? Like, what are the tools? What are the paints? How does it work? What does it do? And you start thinking. I'm not sure how it's for you, but when I see something like this, I get stuck. Which is not a problem if I'm walking alone. If I'm there with a friend, then I need to get unstuck from the friend or from the people around me. Like, folks, yeah, you're here with us. And then I can focus on the things we were talking about, but still. And this happens much more if it's a Mongolian script. Because with the Mongolian, I have much more in-depth knowledge of the script. You know right away if it's a brush or a marker or any other tool that you could use for calligraphy. But then you start thinking, what was the angle of the tool? Was it like this? Was it on the top? Was the tip well made with the brush? Usually I try to put it in ink and then just shape it well, because not to be round, but to have it flat in a way. You see, like this. Because this creates an idea of a marker, meaning that you get the shape slightly wider, slightly thinner, based on your technique or how you want to work with it. But if it's flat, then you just you write some of the letters or the words, then you just repair the tip and you keep on writing. And the interesting part is when you look at it, you start thinking how was the tip? Was it well done? How was the pressure of the brush? Because if you put in more pressure, of course, then it destroys the tip much more. The same thing happens when you write the letter O as a circle. I mean, in Mongolian, the O is a circle as well. Coincidence? I don't think so, but well, who knows? And then you can study every single word for minutes or for hours. When I spoke to a friend of mine, Sergelin, a wonderful young Mongolian calligrapher, when we spoke about writing with Sergelin, he told me that usually when you write with a lot of technique and very precisely, then the threads should be all connected. So the line should be intact. There shouldn't be any white lines, the hair shouldn't be split, meaning that if this happens, it's a sign of a mistake in a way. It could be my personal preference, of course, but if these happen sometimes, then okay, it looks interesting as long as it's a controlled movement. Meaning that if you move the brush faster, let's say, if you move it faster, then of course there is less ink being poured onto the paper, and if there is less ink, of course, it will be either slightly more gray because there would be less ink, or no ink at all, meaning it would keep the white lines somewhere along the one shape that you're writing. Of course, at the end, when you press the brush to the paper, then there is more ink, so it's thicker and it's full black, or whichever color you're using, of course. This is how the perception changes a lot. And this is only talking about ink and paper. If we took an example of writing with, let's say, markers on a person. I love bodygraphy, I like writing on people. It's a great experience, both for me and for them, as we usually talk about it later on from the experience of how they enjoyed it. And usually, I love the focus that I start working, and I have the canvas, which is breathing, which is a wonderful thing. And the canvas enjoys it as well, because the sensation on the skin is interesting, and the result as well. Just show it and you see the enthusiasm in the face, like, oh, is this what we've been creating for the past 30 minutes? Really? That's wonderful, love it. And it's the same thing for me. When I take a marker and suddenly you have to think about the human body in a completely different way, because suddenly it's not a flat canvas or a flat piece of paper, it's a human body, meaning it has shapes, it has curves. So if you want to write something on the neck, then how will it look? Because on the side, let's say over here, it's visible, yeah, that's fine, but if you make the line slightly like below the chin, right here, it won't be visible. You have to think about many, many more things. If you're writing on the shoulder, then it could move around the arm, around the shoulder, maybe the neck, as I said, and it completely changes the experience. For me, Mongolian calligraphy is sort of a meditative process. If I'm working alone, I mean, if it's a performance, then it's pure focus, I'm working and I love it. But when I'm at home and I'm just like scribbling Mongolian, for me it's meditative. If I'm stressed, if there are too many things happening or like anything, then I just start scribbling, and within minutes, the peace of mind just comes to me. There is always struggle on what you will be writing. If I'm at home, it doesn't matter. I could write all the names of all the animals I've ever seen, all my friends, people, cities, music, anything. But really, if it's a performance, if it's a canvas, I try to make it more tailor-made for my clients. And what do you write at that point? Very often, people are not sure like what to write. So we talk. Like, so what are you looking forward? What are you looking for? What is the thing that you want written? What does resonate with you that much? Maybe sometimes proverbs, sentences, and I try to write a poem or just a few sentences maybe that would create the idea of what the person is feeling at the moment when they see the calligraphy. If I made it, I'm happier. If the person comes up with something specific, well, that's what we're writing, and I'm happy to do that as well. If you're a calligrapher, let me know. What was your calligraphy's journey? How did that change you personally? How did your work process change? How was it? If you're not yet a calligrapher, or you're doing anything else, literally anything else, because creativity could be in different forms, let me know how that has changed you, how that has moved. Let me know. I'm always interested to talk about it. Drop me an email, drop a comment, what have you. I'm looking forward, and I'll see you at the next video. Cheers.